Hello, this is Black Mamba doing roster review for Scott. Loving the Grievous. Honestly, one of my favorite teams in the game, if not the favorite to use. Super stoked you're using it in Arena. That's that's fantastic. Um, let's check out the roster. So he's new. He's got 2 mil on his GP. Uh, so lots of room to work with on where to go on your next steps. Let's see where you are with speeds. You've got CLS as your fastest at 112. And you've got 86, 70, 83. Okay, so you have pretty much one super fast set. Um, all right. So room to work with. Let's just go each individual faction. Start with the list. You got some good bounty hunters. You're pretty much using the main 5. Let's see. Oh, I don't see Greedo on there. Did you get you got Chewie without Greedo? Or sorry, not without Greedo. Without Dengar is what I'm trying to say. You got Chewie without Dengar. That's crazy. Wow. Mission accomplished. Nice work. A lot of the times it's hard to beat that without Dengar. Okay. Um, so I would assume you're using Django lead, if not Bosk lead. But you have the lead on the Zeta for Bosk. Zeta on the lead. More and more popular is Django lead, regardless of Zeta or not. I love how you have the unique Zeta though. That makes him deadly against Night Sisters. That'll be one of my next few Zetas, depending on what characters come out in the game. Um, you you also have Boba Zeta, so he gets extra protection back. Let's see, 15, 11. Okay, so right off the bat, I'd recommend not 6-dot modding anything that doesn't have speed unless it's specifically for Droideka. Um, and I don't see, I mean, yeah, the crit chance is great, 8% crit chance, but this has no speed. Um, I suggest having a bare minimum of plus 15 speed for anything that's going to be 6-dotted or taken all the way up, just for future reference. So I would try to get some speed into him on some of these. The Mamba rule is plus 10 minimum or goal for each mod on every single character that is important to you. Important to you, meaning GA teams, territory war teams, mainly GA teams. I'm figuring or kind of expressing that GA is kind of the most fun for most people. Hopefully, the rewards at the end of the season are worth it. 4 weeks is a long time, but it's definitely the most competitive. And I'd say making your GA teams your strongest is the best. So, of your GA teams, I would say all of them should be modded with at least plus 10 speed on every single mod, which would give you a big advantage. But in this team, you want Django to be the fastest. I would highly recommend trying to get him as fast as possible. A goal to shoot for by the time you hit like 3 mil would be plus 110. I would recommend seeing all your mods, or a brief overview of your mods, seeing that CLS is your fastest set, and then it kind of peters off. I'd recommend farming a lot of speed mods from the speed challenges. Just doing a 50 times 3 refresh a day if you can afford the crystals. and do some speed mod farming. It'll be very tedious and a long effort, but that's the best thing I can suggest. Speed is the name of the game in this game. Bosk, try to get some tenacity on him, um, and protection as well. That's a good speed secondary. Anyways, you want him to be tenacious as well as protection, which you do have. Try to get his tenacity at least to 80, 90%, and speed up to bare minimum plus 80. Faster he goes, quicker he gets the taunt off, which fuels the bounty hunter team. And then you're gonna want him. Yeah, potency's cool on him because he can inflict ability block and dots and all that stuff. But still, he's kind of the damage dealer of some sorts with his execute. But I'd recommend crit damage on him, or you can have a speed set which gets him going faster to inflict the ability block quicker in the match. Um, yeah, that's what I would recommend for bounty hunters. Are you going for Greedo or IG-88 next? Of the two, I would say Greedo is a little bit better just because he can infinitely attack, and he's got thermals as well as a dispel. Uh, I don't recommend I mean, the Zeta is great, but there's no need for it at the current moment of the state of the game and where you're at. This is mainly for a very end game player who has Zetas just sitting around. But just kind of curious. IG-88 has a ship. That's kind of the main use for him at the current moment, as well as a Grievous nuke team, but there's a lot of other stuff to target first. I don't expect you to have clone troopers, being a 2 mil roster. No need to focus them yet. I would casually farm them, but I don't want to spread you too thin. They're going to be kind of like the Geos are right now, where they're going to get a rework and be semi-important, kind of like a B team for Grand Arena with Shaak Ti, but nothing is set in stone with how they're going to be. But you can ignore them for now, but keep an eye out for them. I believe you mentioned you switch between Padme and Grievous for your arena team. Yeah, okay. That I remember you saying that. Let's check out your arena team mods. Full 6E, delicious. 118th. Whew. I bet you this guy hits like a mother. Yeah. I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. I love it. I love it. I love it. Lots of health, crit chance. I don't see any speed added, but I mean, gotta do what you gotta do. I do love the health addition. Also, I don't see any speed added, but this will be fine for now. Keep in mind that speed obviously is always going to be helpful on every single character in the game except for Droideka. Just keep that in mind. Nice potency and crit chance I do like. An extra set of potency is great for his target lock chance, so that's good, and this is fantastic as well. Oh my goodness. That's a juicy mod. 19 speed, potency, and crit chance. I like it. Yeah, try to get this at least to plus 70 if you can. Plus 80 preferred, plus 90, 100 is like absolutely amazing for this for Grievous. It'd help a little bit. I know he gets a lot of extra turns with this and his Zeta, but at the same time, you don't want to rely on his Zeta for him to take turns. Just let you know. I know, and he also gets target lock, turn meter and stuff. But still, speed always helps. Um, I guess yeah. Jodica is not the only character that is kind of neglected of speed. There's a few others. Him, for example. But just the general gist, speed is huge. Um, I love your potency, but I also would highly suggest some tenacity on him. Because everybody who's targeting a Grievous team will 90% of the time kill B2 first. He's the turn meter trainer of the team. He's the debuff heavy guy of the team. He prevents everybody from getting buffs. And so people try to stun him, daze him, ability block him, kill him whatsoever. So putting tenacity on him is big. My highest recommendation is minimum of 100% on both potency and tenacity. Both. So you could probably give this a potency primary, and give him 2 tenacity mods. Or you could do 4 tenacity mods, 2 potency, and then this being potency should give you 100% both. Especially if you 6E the potency percentage, brings it from, I think it's like 24 to 35% primary on the potency. And this should be protection, which you do have. This should be protection, and this should be protection. And speed isn't a whole lot, but you definitely want more than 0 for B2. I'd aim for 40, 50, 60 range is a good goal for him. Magna Guard, you almost have gear 13. I'm curious if that's your next gear 13. I have it personally. It's quite an amazing gear 13. He goes from, I think it's like 80k exactly to 114k is what I have for just the protection. That does not include the health. So this guy becomes a freaking monster of a tank. Speed is not necessary on him. 7 is a bit low. You can aim for like 40 speed additional, but it's not the end of the world. You just want him to be tenacious and defensive. So 4 defense mods with 2 tenacity if possible. But I also like how you have so much additional health. So you could honestly keep the health mods, just add a little bit more speed, and I'd probably give him a little bit of tenacity. So I'd keep 4 health mods and give him 2 tenacity with a little bit more speed, but put this to protection, keep this protection, keep it protection. So yeah, so keep the primaries the same, but give this protection, and then 2 of these 6 possibly make tenacity mods would be a suggestion. I love the Jodica Zeta. I have it as well. It helps a lot. I think it's personally underrated. I do not think it's mandatory, but I find it to be a very thrilling Zeta. I do notice you have all 6 health mods. I recommend doing all 6 offense mods because he scales off offense. And he is probably one of the highest single, I think it's base stat offensive characters in the game. All 4 of the optional mods, which is the arrow, triangle, cross, and circle, the ones that you can change the primary on, I recommend all 4 of them being offense mods or offense primaries. Like this, I don't have to go through it, but all of them should be offense primaries with as much offense secondaries as possible and no speed. I'm super stoked to see no speed, but just add some offense secondaries. And then this should be protection. See, oh, sorry, not all 6 offense mods. 4 offense mods and 2 tenacity or 2 health or 2 defense. Just make him the secondary part, like kind of defensive a little bit, so he can survive between the times that he's in his ball and when he's not. I don't know why I said 6 offense mods. Imagine if you could do 2 offense sets or something. That'd be cool. Anyways, B1, mod him for pure speed. Speed and potency. I see you have offense and potency, which a lot of people have. But I find that it's definitely more beneficial to have speed on him. I recommend above 100 additional speed. Again, all my mod suggestions are for goals to what to aim to. I know it's not possible to do that immediately, but just something to get for in advance. This should be potency on the cross. This should be offense, speed, which you have, and it doesn't matter at all because he can't gain health or protection. But four speed mods, 2 potency is what I suggest. Make him as fast as you can because he's the healing unit. More times he goes, more times he heals, more annoying the team becomes. Let's see. I'll go over R2 and BB8 in their respected factions. You have double Zeta Palp, and which Zeta do you have here? Just curious why you have this Zeta. You probably have your reasonings. It's probably early or something. I'm seeing your Thrawn is 5-star. What is that? Your 6, I believe, with no mods. Just letting you know, Thrawn is a top 10 character in the entire game, possibly even top 5. If it were my roster, I would gear 12 him as quickly as I could. He's the backbone of the Empire. Probably the best, if not top 3 plug and play characters in the whole game. Him, Nest, all these plug and play characters. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend working on your Thrawn. He'll make your Empire or Sith teams so much better. And then mod him for as much speed as you can possibly give him. Rosters have him at plus 140, 150, 160. Hard to imagine, but yeah, that's a character I highly recommend you focus on. Oh, how do you have your potency set with 2 random mods? Lots of protection. I get him a little bit higher. You could run him at plus 80 speed. Again, like for example here, I know mods aren't really easy to come by, but try to do a general rule of thumb of plus 10 speed on every single mod. It's just kind of the Mamba rule. It'll make your Grand Arenas so much better. Your teams will be a lot better in PvE, PvP, all around. Just it's annoying how important speed is, but yeah. See if you can add speed to all these secondaries that don't have it. But the primary is correct. You want protection and potency. Those are all 3 correct. Just get some speed on him, and he should be good. You should probably mod him for speed, and either speed and crit chance or speed and potency. The reason why you want him fast is because he opens up with Force Crush, which starts the turn meter train on Palpatine's lead. And the faster the Vader goes, the quicker he starts the turn meter train. And if you don't have a fast Vader, you might get behind. And if you get dazed, then yeah. So get him fast. With crit damage on here, which you do have, just add some 10 speed minimum. Offense or potency, either one works. And then protection here. Unless you have a good health mod, but protection usually benefits more than not on champions or characters. I don't know if you have Ewoks or not. Looks like you're starting to work towards C-3PO. I don't know if you did get him or not. Did you get him? No, not yet. No worries. I don't have them either, so uh, yeah, I gotta work on my bucks. But yeah, curious if you'll get 3PO next time. Good luck if you do. It's a pretty hard event. First order. So you have Kylo Ren done, but none of the rest. They're a good Grand Arena team. A lot of people use them on offense now, especially Territory War. You put Kylo Ren unmasked lead with a Zeta on his lead, but I'll do some Zeta recommendations at the end. But you put a Zeta on his lead, and you have multiple, or you have a fully developed team, pretty much. You already have First Order Stormtrooper, which is huge. Getting his 7 stars is the hardest part of his farm, and the fact that you already have it is big. I would recommend, of course, Kylo Ren, which you already have. Crew, Kylo Ren Unmasked, First Order Stormtrooper, First Order Officer, and then First Order Executioner, also known as Fox. He's a very, very, very easy farm. I think he's an 8 Cantina, if I remember correctly. So you could easily get him to 7 stars in, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, if not earlier. Don't remember how long it took, but it was a very fast farm. He's the backbone damage dealer on the team. After you farm them and gear them, let me know and I can go over the speeds for this team. But they're very good on offense, and even defense. I mean, both. They're just a decent faction for now. And when episode 9 comes out, I'm sure First Order will get probably like General Hux or somebody new. Hopefully Snoke. Oh my gosh, that would be a freaking lifesaver for the First Order. But they might have missed out on that opportunity on the last movie. Anyways, First Order might be important in December. So your other arena team, when you swap, let's see, you've got great health, good speed. You don't want her to be too fast or too slow. 70 speed is at the top range. I like to see plus 50 to plus 70, so you're at the very tip top of the recommendation, which is fine. I mean, it's not too fast. It's good. 229 is about right. When you add some Gear 12 Plus pieces and Gear 13, she'll be even faster, which you might want to take off speed at that point. Just as long as she's the slowest and goes last in your team, that's all that matters. Just her base speed is very high. Which of speed, health. You could switch this to speed depending on what mods you have, or sorry, to health percentage, but it all depends on what you have available. So again, it's just whatever you have available, but yeah, health and health. You've got the GK Zeta, Ahsoka, Anakin. You've got all the Zetas. Fantastic. Who knows what other Zetas might come out? Maybe Mace Windu will get one. That's just a big if. You already have him 7 stars. He's pretty easy farm, but Yoda's modded for offense. 83 is perfectly fine as long as the special offense is high, which that's a pretty good set. You have crit damage. I don't see speed as a secondary. Just again, 6.mod should have a decent amount of speed in the secondaries, unless it's Droideka. This should be offense primary, by the way. But I like the 4 offense, and then 2 crit chance would be ideal, but 2 health works just as fine, especially since it's 16 speed here. And yeah, protection. Anakin's modded for offense and health, which is exactly what you want. Is this potency? No, it's not. Depends on what you're facing. If you're facing Malix, I don't know if you are, but if you aren't, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Um, if you want to see my most recent Grand Arena matchup where I used Padme against the Darth Revan, the Darth Revan did not have Malik, and your Padme team has a lot more Zetas than mine does. And that's just kind of how the matchups should go when there's no um, Malik on the team. It should be a walk in the park with no Malik. But if you do that, eventually see Malik's, this should be potency because it's very, very, very important on Jedi Knight Anakin. This could be crit damage or offense. Offense with a little bit more speed. I'd say plus 80 speed is about right. So actually, your speed's pretty nice, which you can even improve better when you get a little bit more speed on this. And good job on saving Omegas from his lead, by the way. Offense and health, which is exactly what you want. Saving Omegas in the lead, I like it. 58 speed's fine. 70, 80 is about what you want. Crit damage is fine. She hits quite hard. That's correct. Offense. I put offense here. And protection or health. She does benefit a lot from health, though. Her unique gives her 40% max health, which is doubled when she has critical hit immunity, which happens when she is paired with Anakin, and also when GK gives her it. And so that's plus 80% max health, plus Padme's lead, which is 50% max health, which is 130% max health. Yeah, it's a lot of health. So health on that circle would be appropriate. I don't know if I checked GK. But a little bit more speed. I love the protection, though. Protection is great. But you don't want him to be going too slow because faster he can get the D-bus off, the better. Sometimes you want to keep the D-bus so Padme can switch, reverse the D-bus to bus. Just depends on what's happening in the matchup. And then, obviously, the faster he goes, more times he can use this. And basics grant foresight, so speed's the name of the game. Sucks, I know. It's terrible. Wish there was something different. Which, actually, I say I wish there was something different, but that's what droids are for, The Grievous team. It doesn't rely on speed, so that's probably why I like it so much. I am glad you have Geos. These guys will be very helpful in your low GP bracket of Grand Arena. Even at 4-star Gear 9, without Zeta, you put Brood in the lead, and that will be an annoying team to face. I'd put them on defense, probably in a back zone, because if somebody opens up the back zone and sees these guys, they're going to be really annoyed. I don't expect you to have Imperial Troopers. Yep. It's kind of a late game type thing. At 2 mil GP, you should probably start working towards your Old Republic. It sucks, but yes. Old Republic, Old Republic, Old Republic. I'm just gonna check my mic, make sure it's on. Okay, we're good. Yes, the Revans. The Revans. More Revans you have, the better chance of winning in Grand Arena, better chance of your success at the game. It should just, this whole last year should have been Galaxy of Revans or Galaxy of the Old Republic, a lot of memes. But I still suggest getting Jedi Revan first and then Darth Revan. Yeah, unfortunately, that's biggest and ultimate suggestion I should give you is farm for the Revans. Rebels looking great. I like to see Fulcrum 12. Not something I would suggest, but I like seeing it because I have it myself. But your CLS, I believe, was your fastest character. I think. Can't remember. Yeah, I think it was. Which is always good. It's always good to have him fast. This can be protection or potency. It depends on what you're trying to. Is that 22 speed? Bro. Congrats on the plus 22 speed and the 19. So this right here and this right here are perfect examples of what to take to 6 dot. You got 22 speed at 4 rolls. That's great. You have him out for speed. I'd recommend 4 offense and 2 crit chance. He scales. Oh yeah, he does true damage, but at the same time, he does a lot of offense as he roars. With crit damage, and then try to get that 10 added speed. 10 added speed goes a long ways. Just gonna say that. I'd recommend for crit damage and crit chance rather than offense. He scales off critical hits, and 85 speed is perfect. You don't need to go faster or slower, but just swap your offense to crit damage and crit chance. You have JTR, that's great. How's your BB-8 speed? BB-8 speed should be as close to plus 100 as possible, if not faster. He's the turn meter train on this team. I know he gets more speed with more droids on his unique, but quicker he goes, more he gets to send out, what do you call it? The roll ability, secret intel, thank you for silently telling me that. Which gives JTR and everybody else turn meter and the whole thing, and yeah. So BB-8 needs speed. JTR should mod for crit damage and potency rather than speed and potency. I know she's a tank, which is the most bizarre title to give her. She hits like a freaking truck. Plus 80, 85 speed is fine. Just give her plus 66% crit damage. That's what you want. A plus 72 eventually when you 6-dot mod a good crit damage triangle. With some potency on here. The reason why you want potency is because the mind trick, if it doesn't land on these debuffs, it's going to suck. You want the daze, you want the ability block, you want the turn meter reduction, all the above, and that's why potency on here is good. So crit damage plus 2 potency mods plus potency on the cross is what you should aim for. Don't expect you to have Rogue One. I don't have it. Yeah. Scoundrels we went over. Let's see. You have Nest at gear 11, 4 stars. Keep up that farm. It's a very long farm. Brutal, but super worth it. She's an insane plug and play character. Top 5 in the game, plug and play. Top 3 character of annoyance. A lot of teams can't beat Nest 5v1. So eventually get her up as well. I think we went over this. How are your Sith? Where's your Traya? So I'm assuming you're getting Traya shards, obviously. No doubt you're getting Traya shards. Glad to see Scion with the Zeta, even at 4 stars. That was my very first Zeta, and mine was 3 stars when I gave it to him, gear 11. He becomes a monster. So glad to see that. I also have the Nihilist Zeta on Lord of Hunger. Back when I Zetaed, it was very useful. Still is quite a bit at some points of the game. But I would mod him. Health and potency is fine. But if you can get him up to plus 80 speed, that'd be ideal. And then you want him to be pretty tanky as well. Protection, and protection here. Those 3 should be protection. I'm stoked that you have Sith Trooper gear 12. Does not need speed at all. Plus 9 is okay as long as he's very tanky. This is what's bothering me a little bit. She is top 5 character in the game, most broken ass. Oh my gosh. This is the most broken, stupid ability, passive ability in the game. Darth Revan would not be the same without her. In fact, Darth Revan would be straight like B tier without her. Highly recommend farming Bastila Fallen. Even with a Traya or Palpatine, your team will go from a B tier to an A tier just from having Bastila Fallen on your team. This is the most highest recommendation farm I can give you right here, right now. Farm this lady, please. And then eventually you're going to get your Sith Empire with Darth Revan. That's just comes with time. Farm Bastila Fallen first. Then work on Jedi Revan, Darth Revan, and so forth. Hope this was helpful. Zeta-wise, for recommendations, let's see. I think I went over a couple of them with you. Oh, did I? I think I skipped Night Sister. I did. Okay. Asajj, Lead, and Unique are both tremendous Zetas. Talzin Unique is it's not luxury, it's good, but not mandatory. It's like kind of in between. It's a good Zeta. The top 5 that you have in power right here, from Asajj to Spirit, are the 5 that you want. If you can make this modded well, then they would be fantastic for a defensive GA team. Asajj for crit damage, which is what you have. Plus 70 speed is fine. Obviously, faster the better, but 70 speed's fine. Daka, you want full health. Potency does work because stuns, but I would suggest a little bit more health. You can put a potency cross here. Adding 24% potency or 22, whatever it is pretty big. And health as well. Talzin offense set with potency instead of a health with potency. More offense the better because she does a lot of special damage. And Spirit offense and speed. And try to get her faster. Plus 80-90 speed is kind of ideal. She can be annoying. And Zombie, you want to be your fastest with a speed and health set, which is what you have. But try to get her above plus 100 speed. But I like that you have her at plus 77 already. But get this protection, protection, and protection. With plus 10 speed on every mod, except for a select few. Let's see. Recommended Zetas. Brood Alpha would be a recommendation. Probably not first though. Kylo Ren Unmasked makes a first order team go from like F tier to B tier. With and without the Zeta. Thrawn, I recommend. Oh, that's right. Not Zeta wise, but Thrawn and Bastila Shan Fallen should be your 1 and 2 farms right now. Like right now. They're so useful in this game. Yeah, Brood Alpha, Kylo Ren Unmasked, but I wouldn't do Kylo Ren Unmasked until you get your other first order up, because they're required. I would do Asajj Zetas, work on some Night Sisters. Newt Zeta is pretty good, but you can hold off on that one until now. But the rest looks good. And how close you are to Traya kind of depends. Both her Zetas are fantastic. How close are you to Falcon? Work on some IG 2000. I think Falcon should be coming around in like a month and a half. You definitely don't want to miss it. It's the best ship in the game, if not boss ship, but you already have that up. But if you want some, yeah, you have full scoundrel lineup. All right, I like it. And then you can run Thrawn ship once you get that and Thrawn leveled up and geared up. But good roster. I see you're placing pretty well in Grand Arena. Good job. Keep up the good work. Hope you enjoyed.